Welcome back. Well, you guys were able to get some undisturbed rest for the night. You wake up and it is the 9th of Earth Rest. You have been warned that you would wake up to some noise as you hear a distant mooing, and you can hear Olya's voice being very frustrated with some of the very stupid cows, as she would put it. What are you all doing? How do you wake up?
Well, I think Vale would have set up his tent for the night. He's sleeping on his own with Chinook just outside the tent flap, as always. I think he's up bright and early after having had... in his trance, he had this weird vision of an ogre and several goblins attacking the farm, and he was left on his own to defend it. But as he sort of comes back to the present time, he goes, "Oh, that's a weird thing to be worried about." But he gets up and just immediately does sort of a perimeter walk of the property to make sure that everything is still as safe as expected to be.
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check.
Absolutely. Oops.
Yeah,
It's your turn, Leaf. I was moving the combat tracker and I hit the button and
I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't either.
As you're looking around, Chinook, for one, is just like eager to see you. His paws are like just padding along the ground, his tail's wagging wildly. He's like kind of you know that thing where dogs kind of like rummage around just with their mouth, as though he might be hungry at the moment, and he proves fairly distracting as you're looking out over things. And you see, though, that Olya is off in the distance, just across the bridge that you guys were kind of fighting nearby. And she seems to be gathering all of her livestock. There's maybe about 7 or so of them at the moment. But she seems like she's going off just in the distance to gather another. You don't see anything else. You do smell like maybe some herbal tea, and you can see that there's like a bit of smoke coming out of the chimney inside.
fair enough. Well, I think he'll just continue his walk and find a stick to throw for Chinook to chase, and he won't bother Olya to provide food for him. He'll just use his water skin and his rations to feed himself and Chinook for now.
I checked, and apparently I don't have a tent. So I would have asked the night before to share with Raylan.
I have a 2-person tent.
Same.
I got distracted with all of the fun fanfics for later. As I wake up, I'm going to start studying the Mage's Journal that I got the night before.
Okay. Also, wouldn't it be a little bit better if it was like a 1-person tent and there were 2 people in it? Just saying.
Well, tents, I find, are very
There's one bedroll.
optimistic about how many people can fit inside them.
Mm.
Look, you may start separate, but Someone rolls in their sleep. It's cold, you know.
All right. Where is Alina doing this? Is she sitting inside the tent? Did she find somewhere outside?
Yeah, I'll probably be like just outside the tent.
Okay. So you're sitting there, and this journal is fairly compact. It's not something that you would expect when you see people like wizards who have like large spell books. This is more like just a notebook, and it has like a bluish color to the leather binding on it, and there's no real marking on it. But when you open it up, a lot of it just feels like notes on different like magic components, notes on how to use them for certain spells. But as you're flipping through it, you then also, a small folded note falls out of it, and two, when you get near the end where like all of those notes stop, you find a very detailed looking map of Hedgarath. Can you roll a history for me, though?
Let's see if I remember how to do this.
I forgot to get water.
Go grab water while I roll.
Okay.
I just double click this. Oh, not there.
Yeah,
There.
There you go.
I did it.
Yay.
All right. So the first thing that you would notice when you're looking through this, looking over this map, is that there are 3 markings on it, like they circled certain areas. One area is Cloudvale Bastion, which is in Kalddun. The other is the Thunder Craigs, like the very northern tip of it. And the first marking was of Orin's Cradle, which is in Kalddun. And then there's another mark that is just north of the Falzir Oasis. However, when you're looking this over, you noticed that Cloudvale Bastion on it is still marked as the capital of Kalddun, and it hasn't been in quite some time. And you also notice that the village of Donisvich, which you would have to pass when you come down from Rivni to go to the capital, is missing entirely. And you would know that that's a fairly new city as well. So this seems like it's kind of...
They're working with some outdated information.
Yeah, they don't have...
What was the third place you mentioned? The something oasis?
Just it's like just north of the Falzir Oasis.
What was the name of the town? The new town?
Donisvich.
And if you look at the note that has fallen out, and I can copy and paste this for you later, but it seems like it is orders of some sort. It says to the assigned, your mission is time sensitive. Travel to Orin's Cradle and conduct a thorough survey of the ravines. Pay close attention to any unusual arcane activity. This area has been known to shift unexpectedly. Once completed, move on to the location north of Balzir Oasis. This site is of particular interest. Mark it using the ley rods and gather any relevant information, but do not engage in further exploration of the area. Finally, proceed to the Thunder Crags. Here we need to verify the intelligence we've received regarding leyline activity, ensure all data aligns with previous reports. Your findings will directly influence the next steps, and it's signed Justana Karis. As Alina is looking through this notebook, what are the others doing?
I think Leaf woke up probably pretty early. He does also not have a tent, but he does have a hammock with him, and I think he just did his best to shove some pieces of that large wooden pole into the ground to form some place to hang it, but through the night they've sort of bent in on themselves, and he woke up when his back got cold from touching the ground.
This is the most David thing ever.
Yep.
I've been there. I know what it's like, buddy. It sucks. So I think he's just busy packing up his things, having a handful of breakfast from some dried goods he's carrying with him, and trying to work the kink out of his back. Nothing really of consequence.
And the others?
Raylan's a light sleeper, so I feel like when Alina woke up, she would have woken up and she would have just like brought all their stuff out, put it outside to pack up the tent and everything. And then she would just look in the distance to see if Olya needed help, because she did promise the evening before that she would help wrangle cows if she needed it.
You do see Olya in the distance. She seems to be, there's like 3 cows. 2 of them are off on one side, and she seems to be yelling at one and that's further off in the distance, standing near a tree and just not moving or coming any closer to her despite her efforts to call it over.
Yeah, Raylan would just, I guess, leave her nice overcoat with the feathers and everything on the ground beside Alina and just like walk off to go offer her to, do you need help?
Oh, I don't want these other 2 to get away. And she's just like gesturing to the 2 that are like nearby her and kind of obeying her somewhat, but they definitely seem like they are looking for opportunity to just wander off again. Would you mind going over there and getting that one? She takes some it's not like a full thick rope, but it's a much thinner rope that you could probably tie around a neck pretty comfortably, and she hands it off to you. I feel a little bit silly asking you for this kind of labor, though.
I offered. It's okay.
Well,
Really, I don't mind.
Well, I suppose you're already going to be taking them for me anyway. You might as well get your hands dirty right now.
Exactly. I could. Oh, 1 second. She'll like go over to Orin, her horse, and grab some feed off of him, just in case the cow's really stubborn, and she's gonna like go off to try and wrangle that cow for her.
Give me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Ooh.
17.
Not bad. Yeah, I think that at first the cow just like isn't looking at you at all. Like it just refused to acknowledge that you're even attempting to come near it. And it's just very much enjoying the fact that it is standing up on this hill where it's not supposed to be. And as you make your approach, especially with the food, I think it's definitely swayed by you because of that. You notice like the ground here is not the most lush. Olya seems to have all of the areas that would feed a cow well, like fenced off, and this one is very much not within that fence at the moment. And so, what does Raylan do? Does she just like tie it up? Does she try to?
she'll like hold the feet out to distract it, and then as she's kind of like doing it and it's like looking off, she'll like loop. She made a loop already to just throw over its neck and then pull it tight to be able to coax it back. And she'll just like make like, I don't know, like clicking sounds or something at it to draw its attention, and like what she would do to her horse, she's treating the cow like that.
Yeah. Yeah, this cow definitely takes to you, especially after it completely devours the amount of food that you brought it. It's like now looking for something more, and so seems willing to follow you over. And when you go over, Olya seems surprised that you're like back so quickly, and she turns towards you, and she looks from you to the cow and says, "Oh, I'm quite impressed with what you've done here. Normally I have to strong arm this one into coming back."
Not so bad, she'll say as she like pets the cow's neck.
It,
Definitely
like,
food motivated.
yeah, it like as you say that tries to lick your hand. And she kind of leads you over to where all the other cows are gathering and through a fence and closes that off. You do notice there are still some that are out. However, she gestures to the amount of cows that are here, which are about 10 of them now. And she goes, "These are the ones that you will take this morning for me. Do you know where to go with them?"
We were just bringing them back to her aunt's, was she not?
She's she wanted you to bring them back to Frenhold.
That's it.
She didn't precisely say where.
I know a general vicinity where we're supposed to go. I figure we'll figure it out from there afterwards.
She kind of just laughs a little bit, and she goes, "You gotta bring these to Branmere. Your aunt won't be able to chop them up, I don't think. Well, actually, I don't know her that well. Maybe she does like to chop them up."
Maybe not. Maybe my uncle, but not her.
You'll find his shop just outside the city, probably not too far out of the way from where you're going.
Wonderful. Thank you for doing my job for me.
While Raylan's doing that, Brittany, what are you doing?
Nira gets up before the sun, like always, and will do her morning prayers to Israel, worshiping the rising sun. To make sure she greets it and thanks him for helping them through the night. And then when she starts noticing everyone else is getting up and moving about, she'll pack up her tent. And the last thing she'll pack up is the coin pouches. She'll look over those first before putting them somewhere safe.
Yeah. You were able to secure 2 of those, correct?
Yeah, one from the big soldier guy and a satin one from the mage's body.
So between the two of them, you find 8 gold pieces. However, 3 of them are like kind of the just like rough sort of like chunks of gold that you would find in Hedgarath, and 5 of them are very like they're carved and circular and like an actual coin, and they have a symbol of a flame on one side, which you would probably know to be kind of related to Savorin. And you find 19 silver. 7 of them are Hedgarath, 12 of them are Savorin.
Okay.
The silver pieces, they have kind of like a frosted sort of finish to them, and they're stamped with the head of a wolf.
The Savorin one?
Yes.
Okay. We agreed to. We're going to leave some gold for Ola, yes?
I think we give her some last time already.
I don't have any gold.
Like, so I thought we gave her some of the pouches that we found.
I think we
Well, those-
decided that it was best to keep a hold of the Savorin
Okay.
gold in case we needed it.
Yeah.
Though if there are damages to be paid, we can absolutely contribute towards that.
Yeah, I've because I don't know if your kin will take the Savorin gold leaf, so maybe they'll take our gold though. Our
No.
gold and silver.
I think generally gold is gold, given the circumstances.
Gold is gold, but it might be better to have it in case we want to use gold and not draw attention in Savorin territory. I can contribute 4 gold to help smooth things over with Olya.
I'm sure she would appreciate that.
I'll put the Hedgarath coins back into the regular pouch along with whatever anyone else gives, so we can leave it for Olya.
All right.
I don't think she'll easily take it, so I'm gonna just while she's out, put it on her table somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, was to tuck it somewhere in her kitchen.
Yep. She's a proud woman. She'll just think she put away gold someday and forgot about it.
It's so much money for this lady.
Yeah. It's fine.
$10,000. What's this doing in my suitcase?
She's now terrified that she accidentally stole from the head family.
That's why I didn't put it in the satin pouch, because then it would look like she did. But if it's just in the normal coin pouch.
All right. So you guys kind of do your own thing. Is there anything else you want to do before you regroup with Olya?
I don't think so.
All right.
Take down my tent and prepare for the journey back, I guess.
Perfect. All right. So you kind of you meet up with her. She's not very far. You can see her tending to her cows, and she seems to be just kind of waiting now at this moment. And she has gone off to get like a large sack of what you probably could assume is feed, and she sits it like next to one of the cows. And as you guys approach, she again just kind of feels like she's not quite sure what to do with herself. She's very like awkward in her stature. It's like if she was wearing a dress right now, she would be tugging it down a lot. Good morning. I hope you found my lawn to your liking and comfort.
It was perfect.
It was just fine. Thank you.
Hearing that, Nira said perfect and Vale said it was just fine. She looks at Vale and says, "Oh, what can I do to make it better next
Don't
time?"
listen to him. Nothing's ever good enough for him.
I said it was just fine. I was a noble sleeping on the ground. What do you expect?
I think Alina self-destructs if she doesn't insult you at least every 12 hours.
Fat.
What do you want from me? I don't know.
She couldn't do it last week. She has to do it this week.
There's nothing you can do. It was perfectly fine. It's tent life that is just, I've grown weary of it, but it is
Right.
necessary these days.
I don't much like sleeping in tents myself, so I understand this. I have your shipment ready, and I told Miss Saveth here where you're supposed to go.
Perfect.
I would tell you how to take care of these cows, but mostly you just have to feed them this, and she kicks the food that's in a sack next to the ground, and make sure they don't wander off and kill themselves by falling off a cliff.
I
That's
assumed we'd be protecting your usual delivery process.
Oh, no, I told you I need to get my stuff in order, and I thought you were doing that.
We can
Well, good
walk
luck to
some
us, I suppose.
cattle. It will be fine.
Does your dog
I'll take
hurt?
up the rear and
Yeah.
no, he doesn't. He's he barks and he jumps and he chases and that's about it.
That's most of the important parts of herding.
That's true.
He doesn't do them when a herder would want you to. Yeah.
Almost as an emphasis, Chinook goes,
Yes, I know, and he throws the stick way off into the distance. But I'll take up the rear and keep an eye out for any stragglers or any that break off from the herd.
I can lead. I know this place
Okay.
best, probably.
I'll take one side.
I'll take the other.
I'll fill in as needed.
all
Are you
right,
sure you don't want to ride on a horse leaf?
Nah, I'm all right.
Okay.
I forget that you just run.
He just runs. I'm in the middle of all the cows.
Horses
We
are a little
could ride
slow
on
for
a
me.
horse. We could ride on a cow.
It could be fun.
They're very strong.
I'm not gonna try and ride a cow today.
Today.
Today. One day.
Save that for the 10th of Earthrest.
Mm.
It's a long journey back.
Olya just kind of, again, she's just standing there watching you guys all speak. And she has one of the cows near the front of this like herd, and she hands the rope end over to Raylan and said, "You seemed quite skilled with them. Maybe you take this." And see the end of the rope. I'm going to go have my morning tea, though.
Okay. Enjoy. And thank you very much for all the hard work you've done. We really do appreciate it.
Welcome in, Raiders. Hi. Tell us what you were doing.
Now we have 38 cows.
Oh no. I can only handle 10.
As you guys are leaving, all of the other cows in the field start following you.
Oh no, Olya will be upset.
Yeah, she's like,
We're
where's my
taking all.
stupid cow?
So for clarification, how many cows are we escorting?
10.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys are now in possession of 10 cows, and you are heading back to the capital of Frenhold.
Since I'm kind of the extra person, I'm going to kind of, as we travel, go from person to person and tell them about the note that I found.
Okay. Does anyone have a response to that in particular that they want to work through, or just save that?
I do. Did you hit the long rest button? Is that a thing?
It is
That's a thing, and she has not yet.
Oops.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
nope, now
Now
she
it's my
thinks her
turn
turn. Leaf, would you take your fucking turn?
Oh my goodness.
if I remember how to do this.
Leaf will not
Still
take
next.
his turn.
Oh, it was the many thing. That's what it is.
I just have a couple things that are like once per day, so I was like, I didn't get it back. Okay,
I was
thanks.
missing 17 hit points.
You were. Sorry, spell
I'll just
preparation.
remark upon the sharing of the note, like, the map's got to be at least 40 years old.
Could I, looking at the map and seeing that the note mentions north of Falazir, can I like figure out what it is, or what it would have been 40 years ago?
Sure. Give me
If there isn't anything currently there.
as far as you know right now, that's just sand.
Right. Well, it's always that.
Yeah, but you can give me a history check if you're specifically looking for that.
Mm-hmm. History. Yep. In the tower or public?
You could do that public. Nice. Yeah.
Nice indeed.
Yeah, even as you're like recalling like the actual history around the Falzir Oasis, you're certain there's nothing there, and it shows nothing on the map. If Alina shows you that, it just appears to be some area north of there. However, as you're scanning that and you're recalling your own personal history, you would know that to be like the general area that you discovered your own thing during your trial.
Oh. Huh. I think Nira's gonna think on that for a bit. She looks very confused.
You look like you're holding on to something, Yara.
It's just strange. Just very strange.
Is there something significant about that area?
It is sand. A lot of sand. I've walked it, but how do they know where these ley lines are?
Could be arcane study, could be infiltration. Could be someone selling secrets.
The desert is not well mapped. The sands change things often. There's not much out there that anyone would remember or be able to easily find a second time.
Not even if it was of great arcane significance.
The winds blow, the dunes change. The day-to-day, the top up, it changes. The only things that are for sure are the salt flats, the oasis, the mountains to the north. Other than that, it's like an ocean. Sometimes the swells of the sands are in one area and they move to another. Not much else. It is easy to get lost if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, I think when Alina comes to Vale to talk about it, his initial response would be, "And what do you make of it?"
I don't like how far north they know. Though I don't think it's any great secret about the materials of Thundercrags. Because am I getting that? The Thundercrags is where the Tempest Iron comes from, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's no great secret. That's where Tempest Iron is harvested, so.
No, it's not, though with the difficulty of harvesting it and the dangers of the mountains, I'm amazed that not only are they willing to push so far north, this little ragtag group thinks they're going to get that far north into Hedgarath without conflict. And they're willing to brave the mountains.
We're supposed to get that far south into Savorin without conflict.
Well, we're a little differently equipped, aren't we?
Let's hope so. I don't want to end up at the bottom of a well.
It would meet a lot of danger in Orin's cradle as well. The high priestess there is not easily to be messed with.
At the very least, I'm pleased that they seem to be overreaching. The fact that they think they can extend their influence so far so easily means that they've underestimated us severely.
Who are the orders addressed to? Remind me.
Just said to the appointed.
There could be multiple appointed.
Well, I found it in the mage's notebook, so at the very least, it was to this little ragtag group.
But I mean, there could be the same note with multiple groups.
That is true.
I don't doubt it.
They could already be sending out to the other areas. This was the one heading to.
But if the
Orin.
instructions were to go here, then there, then there,
Mm.
I'd expect to see all of them here.
I do feel better that it seems to be a scouting group rather than forces following quickly behind. Since it indicates that their findings will influence what comes next.
Yes, well, we'll just have to make sure that they don't find anything. But I suspect that's very soon going to be Lady Saveth's job and not ours.
DM, can you remind me where Orm's cradle is?
Orange Cradle's like not that far from where you are. There's a mountain that kind of is at the south eastern corner of Erisholm and the like north eastern corner of Kalddun. It kind of goes into both.
Oh, there it is. Should have printed the map a lot better.
Not far from where we are. At least we've stopped them for now. I'm sure they'll send more, but by then hopefully we'll be on our way back here. We can deal with whoever they send next, and then, well, our findings will dictate what we do next.
All right, so you guys continue on this journey. Can you, whoever's kind of like taking most of the lead in being like at the front and stuff, can you roll an animal handling check?
I guess that's me with my extra cow. 15.
Yeah, Raylan does a pretty good job at treating this cow just like she would her horse and leading it along the road. You don't have much trouble in the first half of your travel. So as you guys are coming to this like this area where there's like a crossroads and you're heading north past the road that cuts east to west through Kalddun, the roads seem a lot busier than when you had come out. You see a lot of people with wagons just kind of packed up. They seem to be heading toward Frenhold along with you. It's not like completely unusual, it's just noticeably different from yesterday. But you guys, I assume, just continue to press on towards Frenhold. There's nothing you guys are hoping to accomplish on the way.
Probably don't feel like I
Probably
can
just
accomplish
creepy.
much with nigh on a dozen cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to unload this cattle as soon as possible.
As we get closer to more people, I want to keep an eye out for the type of people along the road. Make sure they all seem like they belong here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do perception or insight?
Let's see.
Can I get in on that too with an insight?
Sure. And if this,
Since you're doing insight, I'll do perception because both mine are the same.
So are mine.
I'm not rolling great tonight. You know what? I'm gonna use my inspiration.
okay.
That's even worse.
Sometimes it be like that.
Yep.
End of my days thing. Okay.
I'm distracted by like the just smell of cow.
And the mooing, like even as you guys were trying to have that conversation with each other, there was just that low mooing underneath the whole time.
Alina slipping through the notebook to see if there's a silent spell. Like,
And you guys, you were doing perception for Alina, and Leafa's doing insight. Yeah, Alina, you don't notice a whole lot out of place. It seems like there's some people from, you would probably recognize them to be like local to Eris home, like as if they were somewhere and are coming back. Some of them appear to be from Kalddun. You notice some Goliaths. Leaf, you also have kind of a difficult time getting a read on them. However, in particular, one of the Goliaths who he's fairly like a burly person, like very much a different build from you. Could be called stocky if he wasn't so freaking tall. And you see that there are two children with him. He's on horseback, and there is a cart beside them, or behind them, that's being pulled with these two kids. And it seems like they have a bunch of their stuff inside the wagon. And the kid, one of the kids in particular, is just like Are we almost there? Like, just being completely incessant about wanting to get to wherever they're going. But their father, or you would assume their father, seems lost kind of in thought, fixed on the road ahead. It's not much longer before you guys finish your journey towards Frenhold. You see the capital in the distance. And as you are coming towards the outer walls of the city, which are kind of like waist height stone walls, they're not meant for protection. That's more near the center of the city. You would find that sort of thing. Raylan, if you're keeping an eye out for where you're supposed to be bringing these cows as you approach the city, you do notice another herd of them off to the side that all seem to be lining up through a very narrow fence towards a more open area, and there are two people working with these cows. It seems as though some of the people on the road are also veering off to go to this destination while others are moving through. And what's everyone's passive perceptions?
Not worth worrying about.
11.
15.
16.
Actually, let me
14.
check. 15.
Nira was 16.
Yeah. Plus, I have advantage because of the shield on all perception things.
Nira, you're probably the only one to notice then that there seems to be an increase of guards near the main road leading into the capital as well. They seem to be checking the people who are coming through and then waving them past. And that wasn't there when you left.
Interesting. I'll go up to walk alongside Raylan then. Does your family do this? Sometimes? She'll point out the guards.
City guard work? No.
No. Check people coming in?
Would I know if this is something that's happened before?
I think the last time that would have happened was around the same time that your uncle Solas's wife passed away.
They've been known to do it time to time, but it has been some time. Something must be amiss.
Well, I mean, Savorin people were more than a day's out, so I suppose it's too strange.
Given the state of how things are, I think it's only safe to do that. We've lost a lot. Better protect what we have. To keep riding.
So the place that seems to be taking in cattle has a little offshoot of road that goes straight towards it, kind of veering off the main road before you enter the city. It seems like they probably get a lot of livestock, but it's not a farming town, so they don't really have anywhere to put them aside from outside the city. And as you make your way over there, you see a dwarven man who is, he seems to be overseeing a very, like, scrawny human boy who's just, like, frantically trying to pull these cattle into, like, one at a time, towards, like, an area that seems to be made for, like, inspecting the livestock. And he's just, like, watching him lean back like this and kind of giving a hearty laugh now and then when the boy seems to struggle a little bit, until he sees that you guys are coming over with more, and he kind of holds up his hand toward you all. Hey there. You're not one of my usuals. And he's, like, pretty far out from you still at the moment.
Branmere, I presume.
Yep, that would be me.
Braylon Saveth, pleasure to meet you.
He has, like, a very tan complexion, and it just burns like a bright red when you introduce yourself to him. Oh, my apologies. He, like, seems to try to
Oh, no,
bow
it's
a little
okay.
bit.
It's okay. We're just bringing these on behalf of my aunt. But please, carry on with the group you have first. We're in no rush.
You're not, all right. He seems very off-put by the fact that a noble is bringing cows to him. However, now he kind of takes over what the young man is doing in order to get him, like, through this work quickly. He was kind of taking his own pace at first. He's like, all right, we can't keep these people waiting now. And he just very swiftly gets all of these cows to listen to him. And the young man's just like, you could have did that a lot sooner, but it's still helping him through this process, scrambling where he needs you to make up for any gaps in the process. This whole thing takes maybe about 10 or 15 minutes to get all of the cows in and through, and he seems pleased with what he has. And then he just kind of, like, waves you on in. Not often I see a saveth around these parts unless you're picking up my product.
Well, now we're dropping it off.
The times are getting really crazy, aren't they?
They are.
Well, the town will appreciate it. There's been a huge increase in orders in the last day or so. These are from Olya, then, if
Correct.
it's... Well, he looks at the young man. It's like, I don't think you'll have much trouble here. And he lets the young boy take over. And yeah, even though these stubborn cows were giving Olya a hard time, they seem to know their role here, and they follow the boy, who has a much easier time with these cows compared to the other ones. Always with that good quality. He turns to look at the party again. Do I need to have any food ready for the Saveth house in the near future?
I guess I'm talking.
Yeah. He's looking right at you.
I think we all turn to, like, stare at you.
Yeah.
Look, it's your house.
Raylan's just, like, a little uncomfortable because she actually doesn't like doing this kind of stuff that much. So she's just, like, sitting on her horse, like, looking at Vale and looking at Alina, like, You may talk on my behalf. No? Okay.
I don't
Um,
know the
You
need
have
of
it.
your
You're
house
doing a great job
currently.
so far. Just kind of like a.
She's just like, at some point, yes.
All right, I'll be sure to have that ready at the usual time. You tell your aunt that.
I will.
Everything okay with Olya though? Haven't seen her.
She ran into some trouble, but she seems okay.
Everything's fine now.
You hear from like 15 feet away the boy just like kind of poking out his head over the cow, and it's just like, "You asking after your girlfriend again?" And he goes again, just like bright red. Sorry about him. He's new. All right, well, thank you for bringing this in. We'll be sure to get the people what they need. Everyone's been clamoring at my doorstep, so I have a lot of work on my hands. And he's going to take off a glove that he has on his hand and hold it out to you.
She'll shake his hand and just say, like, I do have a question before we go, if you don't mind. The orders that were sent out recently you talked about in the guard, do you know what that's about?
Oh, yeah. We've been getting a lot of people from out of town coming up this way. I don't think they're staying long, but they sure have caused some congestion while they're here. I think they're heading more north.
Thank you.
People are tense right now.
Understandable. Thank you again.
Anything for the Beth house? And he turns and heads off to help the young man again, though it doesn't really seem like he needs it. He does kind of point out certain things that he could be doing differently as he goes. And you guys are kind of left at the outskirts of the city now with it's pretty late in the day. The sun is going down over the horizon, and you can see that there's still just steady traffic coming up the road from out of town into the city. Guards being they're like swapping their what's called their watch at the gates at the moment. And I think yeah, you guys make it back into Frenhold without much trouble from here. Is there anything you would like to do before you head back to the saveth house? Knowing full well that you guys have been asked to be kind of on the DL about what you're doing at the moment.
Well, before we leave the butcher, I think Vale would see if he can purchase a good-sized bone for Chinook.
Is there anything on Vale that is like indicating to anyone your house? Like by looking at you, would people know that you are from House Virion?
No, I don't think at the moment there is. He would have a cape that he usually wears with his house emblem on it, but he, having been asked to fly below the radar, he removed that.
I'm surprised he didn't just take off his clothing to... Yeah, you are able to get something for like a copper piece. Nothing that they really need.
Yeah. Okay. Then so as they head back,
I'll tell
to
everyone
Savorin's,
as the cows start to head in. I'll meet you there. I won't be long.
Mhm.
We
I will do
probably
that.
should not all go together if we're supposed to.
I want to go make a quick stop at the sisterhood, the Abbey.
All right. What does everyone else do in the meantime?
That's a great question.
Raylan might offer to go to the sisterhood if you need someone else to go with you.
I wouldn't say that's where I was going.
Okay,
Just said, I'm not going to be very long.
got it.
As curious as I am, I'm sure Vale assumes that's likely where she's going and isn't interested in following her there. So, I think he's just gonna kind of take a roundabout way towards the Sabbath household with the intent of like picking up on any trails that might be following him.
Was the boy saying to, what is his name, Bremir,
Branmere?
that Bremir was asking about Ola, his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Yeah.
Nira's gonna go. He's gonna wait till everyone leaves, and then she's gonna wait to talk to Bremir.
Okay.
She's like dressed down and in her cloak, and she'll just talk to him in Dwarvish and be like, you should check on your friend, actually, Ola. She'd probably appreciate it. She's had a harrowing few days.
He was kind of busy tending to one of the cows when you approach him, and he goes completely stiff for a moment as you speak, and then turns quickly. Oh, well, we wouldn't want her to feel like she's alone or anything, of course, but
She's felt so alone down there. Their
Things are
neighbors are
quite-
so far away.
things are quite busy here. It's just like gauging how much work he has left in the day.
I'm sure once all the cattle's killed, though, what more is there to do?
I do have a day off in 2 days. I'm sure she'll be fine till then.
I'm sure she'll appreciate seeing a familiar face.
Yeah, he like seemed to like be dazing off for a moment, and then brings himself back to the conversation and just like,
It's okay.
thank you. I will be sure to check in on her soon.
You're welcome. Just you give him a little bow and then walk away. Yes. I got a special, like, always prepared, and it's ceremony. I am always ready in every cleric to cast ceremony to marry people. Be prepared.
All right, so you regroup and you head into the city walls, seeing Raylan with you, and then very quickly noting the rest of you. You're kind of like waved through without any issue. And yeah, you notice that there's like a lot of congestion in the road. People just stopped kind of at the side of the road with their carts. It seems like there's like a lineup at some of the local inns that are on the outskirts of the town. And Alina does. Yeah, Alina said something before she slipped away, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Then we will head on down to a house that kind of rivals the landscape that the Saveth own. It's very large, secluded. There's lots of like greenery out front that you could probably pass by and not really notice what's going on beyond there. But Alina, you head down this like sort of cobblestone path that winds through some very well tended to gardens. There is a young initiate of the sisterhood that is dressed all in blue, and she seems to be pruning some of the plants outside. And she looks at you, and then she looks again, and then she sort of like curtsies to you. And as you head further on down, you see this very regal-looking sort of manor that has a sort of towering central portion to it that peaks at the top. Lots of glass windows, multiple levels. There seems to be like areas where expansions have happened. The stone on the exterior is newer. Because it is like getting late on in the day now, it seems like everyone's kind of wrapping up their work, and this young girl is now like following you in through to the front of the house, but she's keeping a distance between you and her. And you head on in. Where are you intending to go once inside?
I want to. Well, I'll tie up my horse. I'm assuming there's like hitching post.
Yeah.
Around the front. I want to go see if Mother Ona is in and in her office.
All right. You head through the halls. Some girls are heading off to their quarters because it's probably getting towards curfew now. And there is just a grand design to this building, very intricately carved woods. There's statues that, though modest in size, they kind of boast the intricacy and design, considering that they're stonework. Winding staircases that are just like probably large enough for 10 girls to run up at a time. And you pass studies, and you pass eating quarters, and you head to the very like heart of the sisterhood. Soon you are met with a much more reserved in style hallway, much more dimly lit. You see that most of the doors are closed, and at the very end of the hall, you can see that there is the Reverend Mother's quarters. And right next to it is your mentor, Ona's office. And the door is cracked open just a little bit. You can see dim light coming from within it. And how do you approach the door? Do you just do you knock? Do you just walk in? Do you?
I still knock.
Yeah, you knock, and she goes, "I was expecting you."
Before closing the door, I'll check the hall and then make sure it's well shut.
You don't see anyone in the hall at the moment. Make a perception check.
Please be higher than a 10.
Do this in the tower, actually, too.
Okay, remind me how to do that. I just drag it over to the tower?
Yep.
Okay.
You are pretty confident that you saw that girl that was coming in behind you turn off and join another group of girls. And since then, everyone's been giving you like kind of a wide berth. You've only seen the like very lower level of initiates here. And they seem to have taken note of the black embellishments in your dress that denote your advanced track status. And yeah, you look down. You don't even get like a hint of someone just being curious looking out for you. And you close the door. And she looks at you. Mother Ona is now that she's not in her mourning gear when she first met you up near Ribney, she doesn't look that much different considering that all the mothers wear black, but you can now see like her very polished makeup. Everything is perfect. There's no smudging or anything. Her hair is very neatly tied back, no longer has a veil on, and she's sitting there in her long black dress. No one's following you. What have you learned?
Quite a bit already. I'll show her the note.
She reaches over, takes it from you. She kind of flips it with one hand and reads it over, and she looks at you once in the middle of it. She seems a little bit confused for a moment.
The map they were using was at least 40 years old.
I see. So they aren't quite up to date, which is good.
They were... whatever they were mining or investigating. Silvery and blue veins. And I'll show her one of the vials.
She looks between the two and seems to get caught up on the blue one in particular. I see that. She takes a look at it, holds it up to then like the candlelight across on her desk. I suppose you haven't shown the head house this just yet?
Not quite yet. Taking the long way there.
It's a bit troubling. They're hoping to head a lot further north than I had anticipated.
That part was troubling.
Especially considering where the sisterhood is currently located on their path. I think I need to prepare our young initiates a little better. And make some decisions for some of them.
We're going to do what we can to cut off the flow of information back into Savorin.
I'm hesitant to tell you this. We have lost track of Kemi.
Where was she last?
I cannot tell you that. She was on a mission similar to your own.
The one we ran into didn't seem to know what the sisterhood was. That doesn't mean they don't as a whole. The one we interrogated just didn't. He seemed surprised when I could pull his name from his mind. So they're not all aware of the kind of power Hedgarath can have.
Well, let's hope that you keep it that way.
That individual will not be reporting anything to anyone.
She gives you what you could probably be the most that you've seen her emote in terms of a happy expression. Just a very slight uptick of both the corners of her mouth. Well, I have some work to do, and it seems that you are on the right track and probably further than me.
I'll keep an eye and ear to the ground for Kemi. Maybe we'll find something.
You should know that before we lost track of her, she was spouting ideals that go against the sisterhood. She seemed to be quelled by a talk with her mentor for some time, but that did stand out to me. She's always been so faithful.
If I find anything, I'll proceed with caution then.
Take care of yourself out there.
I will.
As you head out back through the halls towards the Saveth house, the streets are now pretty dark. You are confident that were you to head over there now, that especially with all of the chaos in the city at the moment, you wouldn't have much trouble going unnoticed. No one's having meetings at Saveth House at the moment. Soon you find yourselves reconvened at the front near the large oak tree that kind of spans over the entire paved area that is at the front of the estate. And Alina eventually rejoins the party. Vale, you said that you were trying to see if people might be tracking you?
Yeah, I wanted to take sort of a complicated route through the city streets and double back a few times and see if there might be anyone tailing us.
Okay. So you're just leading a wandering through the city to kill time sort of thing? Or are you on your own?
Would Vale go on his own?
I probably would have gone on my own, but if you wanted to join me on this weird path he's going to take, you're welcome to. He wouldn't stop you.
I would say that Raylan probably wouldn't. She'd probably just kind of go more straightforward and let him do his thing.
I'd probably join you.
You're muted, Brittany.
I'd go with Raylan. It's not uncommon for her to be seen with like a handmaid, so it wouldn't be strange.
Yeah, so you guys are back at House Saveth. It is 8 o'clock though, so I think that's a good time to take a break and come back with more of whatever this is. I blacked out halfway
A
through.
gosh darn delight is what it is.
It's a fun time.
All right, go get snacks and drinks. We will be back soon. Welcome back, everybody. Gotta remember to turn that music down. There we go. Welcome back. So far on this session, in case you missed the beginning, our party essentially just escorted some cows to a butcher shop outside of Frenhold.
A task very befitting our station.
And we did great.
They definitely didn't learn any lore from any of the books or anything like that.
Not a cow
was lost.
Process. Yeah, but the party has made it back to Frenhold after a fight in Kalddun, or in the Kalldun Hills, as they dispatched of Savorin soldiers and decided to help the farmer Olya with her shipment that she is now behind on to the capital city. And when they arrived, it seemed that there were a lot of people arriving along with them, and there was an increase in security measures around the gates of the city. The party, however, being very notably with a member of House Saveth, was just kind of waved on through, and Alina had an interesting conversation with her mentor, Mother Ona, at the sisterhood. And now we join them back at House Saveth, reconvened after wandering the city to kill some time. It seems like the main house out front is completely dark at the moment. However, you can see the path that goes around. There is some lantern light coming from that direction. Raylan lives here, so she's able to just kind of take the lead and bring you back to House Saveth. And you enter into this, the main area. And as soon as you enter, you hear people talking down that same hallway that you were led to before, when you were sent out on this first mission together. I assume that you're headed that way.
Yeah, as we head in, Vale's just gonna lean over to Raylan and go, I can't get over how different it is coming in here without any fanfare and adoration.
Would you prefer that? I could.
If
ask
you could
one to
scare
cheer for
something
you.
up, I'd appreciate it, yeah.
Is this audible conversation?
Oh, for sure, and he's playing it up, he's joking around, but...
Just here behind you.
Yeah, and I'll open the doors to where they're going.
Baron
Like,
Virion is here.
she'll just bow and as you walk in.
Alina's eyes roll so far in the back of her head.
And he sleight of hand undoes a button as he approaches the
As he walks through, Raylan's just gonna like quietly say, I don't think his head will fit through the door.
Why do you think I try so hard to keep him humble?
It's true.
It's not working.
Alright. So is this happening as you guys are entering into the main hall area where you suspect people are?
Yep.
Yeah. Gotta get the man his entrance.
All right. So you walk in with this grand entrance, and your companions just kind of like snickering and playing this up behind you while Alina rolls her eyes and near it, shaking her head.
I'm also rolling my eyes for the record.
Chinook is just like, it's like this was his entrance as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had
Chinook's the real star right
He
now.
is,
We all
he is
know
a
this.
noble hound entering under the rightful amount of fanfare.
And you enter into this space that is very much not that vibe. As you see that Eris, Saveth, and her brother Solas are standing near the fireplace having a conversation amongst themselves while Varek, Lady Eris's nephew, is sitting at the head of the table, and there are what look to be a couple of other commanders from different provinces. There's one that's very notably from Kalddun. He's Goliath in stature, not wearing very much armor. He is just ripped, and his skin is covered in tattoos. He has his head shaved, and those are like, it's full of tattoos as well. And seated next to him is a this one looks like they're also from Eris home, just judging by some of the emblems. It's not quite the saveth house symbol, but it's like an homage to them in the fact that it is adorned with an oak tree. And also seated at this table is sorry, why can I not find this now? I know his name. His name's Garrick. That but you see Garrick, the same man who kind of like came in the day before, and he has his hair is a lot more done up than usual. Normally it's like a very messy sort of style, and in this today it's like very sleek, like he's trying to display himself properly. And they all turn to look at you as you enter the room, and it kind of goes hushed.
Lady Eris, your champions have returned.
Raylan's gonna look at Garrick mortified, and she will stand straight up and as proper as she can, and just like, shit.
You can see that everyone has a very like stern or like poised expression on their face, except for Varek, who's like at the very far back, and so now everyone's looking at you, no one's looking at him, and he just kind of smirks a little bit. Very clearly amused by it. Eris looks to the men who are sitting at the table, and it's just like, if you don't mind, gentlemen, we would like to have the room. The three other men who are there immediately stand up, and she looks over at Garrick, and he's just like gives her a look like, me too sort of situation. And he's like, I'll keep them occupied. And he stands up and leads them out past you all. Chinook barks at them as they pass. Each of them get one.
Yeah, one little as they go past him.
Half bark before they all go by very quickly, so he has to cut it off. As Garrick passes Raylan, he just kind of like puts a hand on her shoulder, like continues. Well, take a seat then. Lady Eris gestures to the table.
Is I'm gonna ask this every time. Is there a carafe of wine on the table?
Yeah, they were just entertaining people, so.
Yeah. So Vale sits down directly in front of that and immediately pours a glass.
I think I'm going to sit next to you, and after you pour a glass, take the carafe and like put it on the other side of me.
Okay.
And Ariel sits whatever seat she sat in last time.
Do you encounter any difficulty?
Well, we encountered some Savorin troops, but I wouldn't say they were difficult.
Oh, troops would be the word I would use.
Speak for yourself, that little shit didn't hit you in the face with that magic slingshot.
No, you're correct. A lot of people did try to hit me with things, but they were unsuccessful.
It was a mage and a few guards. We're doing some arcane research at Olya's farm.
Digging into the ley lines, from what I can tell, they had samples of Tempest Iron and something else.
They were digging into the rock.
I'll pull out those particular vials again. I don't think I picked up what they were, correct? The blue ones?
No.
Okay, but Mother Ona knew what they were.
She seemed to have some sort of recognition on her face when she saw
I'm
it.
going to very intently watch Lady Eris as I show her the blue one.
Okay. She takes them both from you. Does the same thing, kind of holds them up to the light to look at them better. Well, I know what that one is. And she puts down the Tempest Iron one. This one feels, like when you see a face, but you can't quite place how you know a person. It's the feeling I get from that one.
Can I inside check her?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want that in the tower?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Ooh, someone's moving.
Sorry, Greg is doing dishes.
Okay. He does the dishes just like my eldest daughter.
Also, the dishwasher is right on that wall, right there, so.
You very intently watch her as she looks this over. She's definitely like mulling over something, like she hasn't put together what it is. As far as you're aware, it seems like she's telling the truth in what she's saying.
Do you have people who can suss out its origin and its use, or?
Yes, not quite as familiar with the arcane, but there is a small temple.
I could send a sample to the sisterhood if you wanted.
If we could split it up and get as many eyes on this as possible, that might be beneficial.
I'd like to be included in the findings if that's at all possible.
Oh, that depends on what the findings are now.
Well, I suppose that's fair, but if this seems to be central to their designs and you expect me to handle what it is they're doing, I would like to be informed of just how deadly my magic might become when it interacts with it.
We won't withhold any information that will be of use to you all.
Fantastic. Then I won't hold any information back that'll be used to you all. This very much concerns the people of Kalddun as well. Remind me, Vix, was that when I saw the crates of this stuff, was that like a week ago or much further in the past?
Much further in the past, like when you used to go exploring some of the mines.
About 10, 15 years ago, somewhere in that time period, there would be crates and crates and crates of this stuff leaving Bastone Keep. I don't know where it was going, but I take it that it wasn't going here, if you're not sure what it is.
Alina's still watching Lady Eris. She looks at Varek very concerned for a moment. It's like a very brief flicker that she tries not to let surface too much. It was leaving the keep.
Yep.
Was it mined there?
I've never seen anything like that in the mines, have I?
No.
If it was, I don't know where they mined it from. I've never seen anything like that when I was running through the tunnels.
That is concerning, though.
If it didn't come from there, I don't know where it would come from.
Someone knows what it is. We'll split our resources, get information.
Speaking of which, we found some other locations that they are holed up, although I don't think any of them will be a surprise to you. And he reveals the spots on the map that Darian had shown them. We also found their intentions, if Alina would be so kind.
I'll bring out their map. The places highlighted.
She's looking all of this over, but it seems almost like she's letting Varek take, like, it's almost like he's being trained at the moment, in that she's kind of like handing it off to him to see what he makes of it. And he looks at her a little bit hesitantly, but then he says, well, they don't have correct information in some areas. And Eris just kind of like nods because she picked that up on just like a brief glance at it as she passed it over. And no one in their right mind would want to go into the Thunder Crags. They must not know
What I said.
the depths of what happens there.
Not only that, they expected to be able to pass right through Albor, then Eris home, without being stopped. So either they're planning to come with some sort of military force, or they were expecting to... I mean, you can fill in the gaps.
Though if it was a small party, the increased traffic on the main roads would be an easier
I'm not so
time.
certain the increased traffic isn't part of it.
Well, you stir up an incursion to the south, you increase the flow of traffic, and you slide in with the refugees.
True, but most from the far south would be noticeable. Did we notice like a large number of Goliaths and like an abnormally high number?
Nope, they were mostly human, and also you saw some people. There was human, there was Goliath, there were actually you kind of noted a water genasi passing through as well.
Are they common in Hedgarath at all?
Like not exactly.
Fair enough. Notably
not uncommon.
unusual, but yeah, not impossible.
We've been getting a lot of people staying here, yes, and we've even gotten people from Eris home, not Eris home. God, I'm not remembering my own freaking places now.
At least it's not just me.
I have the map open at all times because
well, where you're from, Vale. Yeah. I wanted to say Arendar because of the freaking echoes, and it was messing me up. We've had people from Ashendar come through here as well, just concerned and heading further north. As you know, Rivni is kind of our last line of defense. I think people are getting a little bit ahead of themselves, quite frankly.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Some
Have
are
any
just...
notes been sent north?
Sorry?
Have any notes been sent north, asking them to prepare for the influx?
Yes, we've already sent messenger. I think they were expecting it. Some are honestly just checking in on family who live that way. But yeah, we are aware of the increase in traffic and are trying to prepare for that accordingly. However, she looks at Varek, who glances at Solas, and Solas gives him like a go-ahead, and he's just like, we're planning our first attack as soon as the first snowfall comes. We have, as you said, been using some of the increase in traffic to not further alert the city to what's about to happen, though we have been taking preparations to ensure that they will be safe. We are much more prepared than they are to fight in inclement weather. And with the help of the Kalddun household, we suspect that we won't encounter too much trouble. However, I didn't know about this one, and he points to the most northern occupation. So either we need to deal with that first and risk alerting the main occupation. He points to the one that they did know about, which is a little bit further south from that one. By taking care of them. We were, however, hoping that our first assault would buy you guys some cover to do what you need to do and head south. If you stick close to the gullet, we believe that we will cause enough of a distraction, so to speak, for you to do what you need to do.
So you would rather that we head straight into Savorin rather than deal with some of the things occurring here at home first?
Well, if you think that you can take care of this one quietly, and he points to the small northern one, the one that Alina, when she was looking into the mind of Darian, was like a few tents. And it looked like they had maybe just begun their process there, and there was, from what she could see, no black smoke from the dig site that they had. Or you can wait for us in Hearth in Kalddun, which, if you are able to stay there until we press our attack, you should have a good jumping off point to head straight into Savorin.
If we time it right, we might be able to take care of the camp and then still take advantage of your attack.
I agree.
The rest of you?
That sounds like a good plan.
I'll also say to leave Hearth in Kalddun. It was like an idea, a concept before you left home.
Does Hearth properly settled then.
It has been for 9 years or so. It's not a big place.
Good to know.
Seems your father is a progressive man.
Just this like genuine surprise belly laugh. You're serious?
I take it you disagree?
Yes.
Well, he's been offering up any help that he can, even though we've been telling him to hold back.
I would just advise you to not trust him at his surface. He's always got an angle.
Well, I suppose we will find out just how much I can trust him when I bring up this. And he, points to the bluish substance that you seem to have recognized.
Where is Leaf sitting in relation to Vale?
Where would you like him to be sitting in relation to you?
Close enough to
So
lean
that-
into.
Hmm?
Close enough to lean into and whisper an aside.
Yeah, I'd say that'd probably be on the other side then from Alina.
Yeah, then he just kind of leans over and he goes, if you had stayed in the political game, you'd learn that's true of everyone.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to take on both of these tasks, but you seem to have done so quietly. No one in town here has yet heard of what happened on the farm, though it has only been a day, so...
Raylan looks down and just drinks her water or whatever.
No one will hear of our actions. They were swift under the cover of darkness, and we covered our tracks.
And what of Olya?
She's well. She sent us with a herd of 10 cows. We brought them back to town. She's working on the rest.
Varek shoots a look at Raylan. You were herding cows.
And
And nothing.
She's actually the one that did all the work.
yeah.
I see. Just another skill that you're hoping to hone over mine.
Well, I have to do something for the family.
He seems a little bit deflated by that. Trust me, you are doing a lot that I wish I could do.
Don't worry, Varek. Someday you'll graduate to cow herding.
Oh, a new dream of mine. You know, if this whole ruling thing doesn't work out, I'll have to have Raylan
We'll
teach me how
swap.
to do.
I'm
Oh, you
so
want-
eloquent with the way that I talk. You know how this works.
Yeah, you on my seat talking to all of the heads of the households.
Heavens no, I would be with Garrick far too much.
Somewhere out there,
His ears are-
something tingles on Garrick's neck.
Hey, Alina, what's your passive perception?
15.
Well, at this moment, Vale just holds his glass out and wine pours from up high, and you look up and you can see his mage hand is pouring the pitcher that you moved away from him.
Nope, I'm not gonna make you dump wine on yourself. I'm not gonna try. This is court. I'm gonna be nice.
Question: when Alina told everyone the information about what she found in the mage's book and the letter, did she mention who it was signed by? Did we see it, or did you just give us a brief synopsis?
I probably would have No, because I told you about her from reading his mind, so I'd have told you that, yeah, that was the commander. I'd share that.
Okay, so then Raylan would probably mention that to her aunt, uncle, and cousin as well. Just, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this name of the commander, but keep an eye out.
Solas's brow like furrows when you say the name, and he's standing like maybe 10 feet away. He hasn't joined you all at the table. He's just been kind of like watching over. Karis.
Yes.
Her name.
Why does that sound familiar? I think there's like a moment where he kind of bites the bottom of his lip and he goes, I see. And he's going to turn and just excuse himself from the room. And Varek and Eris just kind of glance at each other a little bit. And Greg's like, should I? And she goes, no.
Does that name sound familiar to either of you? Or just Uncle?
I have a sneaking suspicion that's Eris. His wife. She had passed in the war, and I know that Solas has harbored some personal vendettas against some of the Savorin soldiers.
Well, you can assure him should we encounter her, she will breathe her last breath.
You are all quite impressive for a group of young nobles who already had the weight of their provinces on their shoulders and now stepping into even more so. Is this all duty for each of you? Is it for honor? Are you bored?
It's for family.
Is it Lady Eris asking?
Yeah.
My lady, I've lost everything that I've ever had in this world. I found home once again when I returned to Ashendar. I've poured everything I have into it, my blood, my very soul, into making it a proper home, not just for me, but for all who live in Ashendar. And I'm not about to let some foreign invader ruin what I've worked so hard for.
That gets a warm smile from Varek, but he doesn't say anything about it. And Eris just kind of tilts her head. That's very noble of you. No wonder you have been so adamant that our houses could perhaps have some sort of arrangement in the future.
I think it would be something that would benefit all of Hedgarath.
Can I insight what she means by arrangement?
Sure.
Can we roll again?
Yep. This
Okay.
is gonna be a difficult one.
Let's see what happens in the tower.
Yep.
Okay.
You've seen conversations like this. And I mean, you've seen Vale plenty as well. There's definitely some sort of romantic connotation to what she's saying. A certain arrangement in household conjoining is what Alina probably gleans from what they're discussing.
I will have very carefully split the sample of the blue substance into two vials and given one to Lady Eris.
She takes them and she passes them.
I'll keep the one for the sisterhood, but I'll give her the one for her temple, her contact.
She'll pass them along to Varek. She goes, "Thank you."
I'll get this one to the sisterhood first thing tomorrow.
Would you like some company? We don't know if there are foreign invaders in the city.
You can come to the sisterhood this time.
You guys are welcome to stay the night here. We have secured some coin from Nira's house for your travels. Savorin coin. It's not a lot, but it will get you started, I'm sure. It's of no use in this country, and perhaps it'll help you not raise any sort of question. My advice to you would be that once you are across the border, that you find some way to continue to earn coin to keep you going, unless you have other means of surviving.
Got some ideas.
Surviving is something that I've learned to do.
All right, well, is there anything else you need from us or anything that we should know?
I'm satisfied.
Thank you again for entrusting us with this.
Thank you for being willing. Varek is also just like, it's going to be pretty busy here in the morning. We have a lot of people coming in that are going to need to be either put up temporarily or who want to go head a bit north, and we have offered to help make those arrangements easier on their coin purses.
We can leave early in the morning and give you the room you need.
All right. You guys
Before
are... Oh, go.
Go to sleep. I would like to write a letter.
Okay.
I would like to write to Alexei.
All right.
To the Lord of Rivni, my dear brother, I want to wish you strength and wisdom as you set about in this new path. Embrace the refugees openly but cautiously. Don't let your heart be hardened to them, but don't let your mind fall prey to what could be either. This is your first chance to show yourself for the Lord you will be. And I'll just sign it, Alina. But when I fold it up and address it, I'm going to make it very formal looking, as if because it's coming from Frenhold to the Lord of Rivni, and from the outside, give no indication, so dearest Mama doesn't try to read it first.
And I would like to see before he leaves if Varek has time to have a drink with us.
Us being the
The whole
party.
group, yeah.
Yeah.
Varek actually doesn't get up to leave. You guys are kind of just left to do whatever. Eris does make mention that she's going to go see to Solas. And as soon as she's gone, Varek like undoes the like top button that's like digging into his neck, and because that is exhausting.
Well, Vale, if you've got a mage hand, why not use it to serve everyone?
Absolutely. And the pitcher goes around and fills a bunch of wine glasses.
Is there anything in particular that you are looking for from this conversation?
No, not really. I just, I've had a number of very small interactions with Varek, and he seems an agreeable guy, and, you know.
There's a lot of,
Issues.
throughout this conversation, there's a lot of taking little jabs at Raylan, though it's very apparent that he's trying to dance around the fact that she bests him in sword fighting all the time.
As long as it stays in good nature, Alina won't start making jabs back.
Raylan will probably ask where Sonia is, or what she's up to.
She's in her room. She didn't want to be accosted with her noble duties today, despite
valid.
Aunt's
Fair.
your aunt's suggesting that she should.
That's befitting of her.
Yeah, she'll probably be digging around in the kitchen, I'm sure, in the middle of the night, so as to avoid everyone else.
I get the feeling I do that sometimes after all my servants have left for the night.
And what's your go-to?
Oh, cheese and salted meats, of course. Nothing pairs better with your 8th glass of wine.
That's sad.
Nira, how are you?
Nira has been quiet this entire time. She's like lost in a memory. Vix, the very specific memory she has of that place.
Mhm.
Does the blue stuff remind her of her findings?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. What time are we going till?
We have half an hour left.
Okay. Nira will pull out a small blue stone on a necklace that she wears. I have a story, if you'd like to hear it. And she will put it down next to the vial of blue liquid.
Varek is holding his glass of wine and is just like, nothing pairs better except for a good story.
My people are more traditional than most, yes? We keep to the older ways. When we come of age, we are sent out into the desert on a trial of sand and sun. That's the loose translation from Primordial. When I went out one night when I was camping under the stars, we are sent to find something of the past to bring back. Proof that we survived out there, that we managed to bring a piece of history back. Most of the time, people find small relics of things, but my sight fell out from under me, and I found myself in a cavern filled with stone. This stone. And it felt strange. And when I touched it, it was as if Israel himself was giving me a vision. And the next thing I knew, I was climbing out, I was back above the sand, and all I had left was this bit behind. That is in the location on the map, north of Al-Wazir. I have never been able to find it again. I assumed Israel did not want me to. He
Do
showed
you
me
have
what I
any-
needed to see.
Do you have any concept of what this stone is or what it might be capable of?
No one in Fahazir thought it more than just a gift from our god.
I don't know, a godlike figure gifting us a potentially magical mineral seems a little far-fetched to me.
There is a god of earth who may disagree with you.
I'm just playing. It's interesting.
At least we're fortunate that Varek was still here for that story.
I
So
don't know what... It's never done. It never felt as if what we saw in the ley lines. Not like when those bodies are thrown in and they just went with light.
I suspect that might just be the ley line itself reacting to interference.
Hmm.
It is sort of a... He actually extends his arm and like flexes so that you can see the veins running up his forearm. Says it's almost like the way our bodies carry blood. Very planet carries a life force of the weave woven into it.
And I don't know why it'd be a stone and not how they have this strange liquid out here. I don't understand this arcane, but
I'll
or
let you
why
know.
they would, why the Savorin would think that's the same place.
As soon as we discover what it is, what this is, I'll let you know. In case we need to look into more about your stone. More to keep you safe than anything else.
I appreciate that. It is a stone. It is it does not feel magical anymore.
Anymore.
If I'm
Down there.
Ah.
It-
sometimes something just needs the right catalyst, and Vale will actually take the small amulet off of his own neck and place it on the table. You can see there's a red liquid moving about inside it.
Does anyone else have some other necklaces that we need to talk about?
No necklaces.
Alina doesn't mention her necklace, even though I'm pretty sure you all saw her use it the 2 nights before. No,
Easy
but
way
this
to wear charms.
is my arcane focus.
This this amulet contains blood. And I'll get to it. To most anyone who were to pick this up and play with it, try to make something of it, it would do absolutely nothing. But it carries the blood of Zorvanthelix, the dragon who my house is bound to. And in the right hands, such as a sorcerer sharing the very blood of a dragon, this enhances my ability. It makes me more powerful. Perhaps that stone is similar. It just needs the right catalyst, the right effect, the right person, the right chemical. Maybe it needs Tempest Iron. Maybe it needs to be put into the ley line. I don't know. But objects that can seem mundane under the right circumstances can be explosive. And as he does that, he does prestidigitation and you get like a spark of fireworks.
Well, as you know, we are quite a bit behind in our knowledge of the arcane here. Would you perhaps be willing to have a conversation with me so that I can relay this better?
Me.
Yes, you seem knowledgeable on how these things work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then join me in my study when everyone else has gone to bed.
As you say, Lord Sabbath.
Raylan snickers at that.
What's that?
Raylan snickers at that.
He looks at Nira, though, and is just like, it's been completely dormant since you took it away from where it once was.
Yes. It has not done anything since I returned. It did not even... Nothing happened at the Olya's farm either. I didn't go into the hole, but that
I wanted
seemed...
to go down there, just for the record.
Those bodies blew up.
Not
So
really.
You guys put bodies down a hole?
Well, they thought it
That's
was the
typically
best
where you
way to...
bury them.
Yes, they were dead, and we didn't think anyone should find them. I gave them their rights. They were at peace with the moon god.
Fair enough. We did tell you to clean up after yourselves, so
No one will
didn't
find
expect
them.
blowing up to be part of the process.
No.
They didn't blow up. There was like just a
Light
and they
when
kind
we
of shot a
threw
few
them
feet in the
in.
air.
and-
Yeah, yes, I should... Yes, they did not catch on fire. They just created a bright light whenever something interacted with the ley line.
Oh. Well, I guess we shouldn't just interact with the ley line if we come across one ourselves.
It did not seem to like it. Once it was recovered, the land seemed at peace again. They don't want to be dug up.
Well, I am hoping to stop them from doing so, though there have been some chatter about maybe they have the right idea and we should attempt to harness the ley line ourselves if they've done some of the work. But the more traditional of us don't want to resemble anything that is Savorin in nature, and so I have two birds chirping away at me on my ear about it.
At least let us discover why they're so interested before we go agreeing with their methods.
I would very much like for you to do that. He seems like there's like a desperate plea in his eye. All right. Well, you guys enjoy a few more glasses of wine with Varek until you are very much aware of the day that you've had of travel. Your bodies start to grow a little bit tired from the journey and all of the information that you have been presented with in the last 2 days.
The question while this is happening, Biggs,
Mhm.
did they already distribute the currency that they had acquired for us, or is that happening later?
I could say that that could have happened. Saves her another trip in case you guys decide to.
Might need to rewind to that for a second.
Okay. All right, that would have been. We'll just say that Varek is the one to give it to
Okay.
you guys before you leave. As you guys are like trying to leave, he like makes note of the fact that they need to equip you for your trip since you probably won't be coming back unless you learn something important. And he puts just a single nondescript pouch on the table. It has no markings that could indicate where it's from. That should do you a little bit. I don't exactly know what the cost of living over there is, so and you get 50 gold pieces and 40 silver pieces, and there is about another 40 copper, and the copper have like a kind of like a wing that is curved around the edge of it.
And this is Savorin coin, right?
Yes. It is everything that they accepted in the Full Zero Oasis recently.
That gives each of us 10 gold and 9 silver worth.
I mean, I'm okay with one person keeping it for now.
Yeah, maybe we keep it
Bigger.
as a separate thing so that we
Mhm.
know how much Savorin gold we can
already
work with.
made a player's note with all the group loot because I have the other money from the other thing.
Cool, thank you.
So it is all there now. 55 gold,
I know
52
what you're
silver,
doing.
40 copper.
It's not happening.
No, I will say what happens is Leaf briefly brings out his completely empty coin purse from his pocket, assuming that we're going to divvy this up, and then when he realizes that we're not, puts it back away. But I think Braylon, it probably you would probably have an opportunity to catch a glimpse of it.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm seeing like across the table from you. So
Yeah,
does it look familiar?
it looks very familiar, but maybe a little bit worse for wear.
Does it have a oak tree with raven 4 claws on a chest, crest?
It does. It's a little bit dirty now, but you can still make it out.
She's just going to tuck that piece of information in the back of her head right now because it's not really a time or place to bring it up in front of everyone, but I think wheels are turning in her head. I think she kind of just sits there and maybe I do know this guy.
Oh my god.
Especially because Varek would not let you live it down that you got mugged by one of your companions.
Oh boy. Amazing.
As we get up to leave, I'll pat Vale on the shoulder and I will whisper, "Have fun teaching magic."
Insight check.
Most of the checks are against
Oh, yeah.
the party.
How
I mean,
loaded was that statement, Alina?
Oh, it was 100% loaded.
Dripping.
Yes.
Was it loud enough for Varek to hear, or did you
No.
say it as a whisper? Okay.
I would have said it as a whisper.
The Vale just kind of looks up at her with the most innocent,
Mhm.
like, whatever do you mean?
Okay. So, you guys are, Raylan could easily show you where the, like, guest quarters are at the house. They are on the main floor, and Raylan's room is kind of, like, upstairs near the back. So, you guys are more near the doorway and where people seem to be meeting in these more private, secluded discussions. Very comfortable living quarters. Each bedroom has its own, like, privy as well inside of it. You have a beautiful view of the city out the back of the house, or the side of the house actually. And aside from Vale, is there anything else that anyone wants to do?
I assume Raylan would kind of take them like door to door and like actually say goodnight to them and everything like that and be courteous and proper. Not like
Such an
good night, let's
adorable
tuck you
host.
in. But like you just want to make sure that if there was anything else that they needed, like water or anything like that, she could get like the servants to help them like bring water or anything like that.
Novelty.
And then she would probably wait to show Leaf the last room. And she
I
was
will
like,
ask you
Oh,
which
sorry.
one is going to be Vale's room because we're going to get up early and go to the sisterhood, and because I'm going to laugh if it's empty in the morning.
I'm gonna put Alina on the end and Vale on the far side because I don't think you guys get along and I want to keep you as far away as possible.
We're friends. I don't know why everybody thinks we don't get
I'm gonna,
along.
like it's gonna be Alina, then Naira, then Leaf, then Vale. I'm going to my own room.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
She probably would have just like opened the door for Leaf to go in and like all his stuff, and then she'll kind of just like lean against the doorway in awkward silence for a second and just be like, "Did you need the 100 gold?"
Yet.
Did you not think pulling that out in front of Varek and myself was a bad idea?
I thought I recognized you.
Mm-hmm. You look different.
8 years.
Yeah.
So do you,
I
by the
mean,
way.
yeah, my hair's gray now, so
That's probably why.
that's probably why. Yeah,
But yeah, I did need it.
that's fair. It was for the people. You're not my people, but if you needed it, it went to a good spot, but could you please not tell Varek or Sonia about this? Because I
Don't worry.
okay.
I can. I don't know if we're gonna have any coin, but I can pay you back. I do kind of feel bad about that.
It's fine.
I figured you looked like you had some money. I thought you'd miss it the least.
To be honest, it wasn't my money, but
Even better.
well, no, it was the people of my city.
Less. Okay,
It was
not
their
as good.
money, but
Not as good.
yes. Maybe if we go to market one day, you can pay them back.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah?
That sounds fair. I can do
Okay. Sleep well, Leaf.
that. Kind of has the attitude of like the energy of like a dog that got caught in something right now.
So you're like avoiding eye contact.
Like, dang it.
Putting his nose in the corner, just like.
I like how he's like 7 feet tall and he's reacting like this.
That's just like Goliath thing now. We've learned
I
from
know.
Olya.
It's true.
So cute.
They're so cute. But yeah, she'll just say goodnight and then I guess leave the door open a little so Vale knows which one is his and he doesn't just like walk in on someone when they're trying to sleep.
As you are heading away from that and the others take to their rooms, we kind of like shift the camera over just down the hallway to a room that is already occupied at the very end by one of the Kalddun commanders that are staying here. And creaked open, peeking out and seemingly have watched this conversation is a very amused looking Sonia, who then sneaks downstairs or sneaks down to the kitchen for the evening. When you get to your room, Garrick is waiting outside, and he seems to be moving something through his fingers, kind of like you would with a coin. Quite an entrance you made earlier.
To be fair, it was Vale making the entrance, not myself.
You didn't help him along at all?
The man wanted an entrance, I just gave it to him. It was courteous of me to do, really.
I'm not here to scold you. Not that you'd listen to me anyway.
You're right, I went.
He stops the fidgeting with whatever is in his hand, and he produces it so that you can see it. And there is a very small, like carved piece of wood, just a token. Has some rings on the outside, and there is an oak tree in the middle. It's made of the same dark wood from Drados that kind of decorates certain spots of the house. You might not be able to give away that you are saveth while you are gone at certain points, but I'm sure no one would think anything of a harmless oak tree, and he hands it to you. Your mother gave that to me.
She'll like take it and just like pause her focus on it for a second. Thank you, Garrick.
I'm not gonna be able to protect you out there, not that you really need it, but still, I've been tasked with accompanying you to so many things, it feels odd now.
I mean, you did let go for a while.
This is a little bit different than that, though, isn't it?
Yes. Are you gonna miss me, Garrick?
I don't know that I'm capable of such things. So he doesn't really look at you. I'll at least... I'll at least miss that laugh of yours every time I do something like putting my foot in my mouth.
I learned from the best.
The putting your foot in your mouth.
Sometimes, yes.
I suppose I would be to blame for that. It certainly isn't Eris.
It's okay, I'll be with Vale.
The one making the entrance earlier.
I mean, Eris trusts him, so...
Yeah. Well, you guys will all need to trust each other, but remember to be wary as well.
I'll do my best.
All right. And he just kind of seems like he's about to say something, but doesn't, and just starts walking back down the hallway.
When he turns, Raylan's just gonna like give him a hug from behind, like a little squeeze, like you would hug your dad. And then she'll tousle his hair because it looks awful done up all nice.
He responds with like a sort of like placing his hand on yours, but he seems to he doesn't want to look at you at the moment. And he just goes, "Thank you."
I'll miss you too. And then she'll just go into her room.
All right. Nira, is there anything that you do before you go to sleep for the night?
Just your usual nightly rituals. I think she's gonna look at the stone a bit and maybe write a couple letters apologizing to her brother that she won't see him when he gets home from his trial. She's gonna be sad to miss his homecoming.
As it starts to like get past, like it's well into the night now. Everyone's kind of stayed up late. You stayed up late to get here. You guys had plenty of drinks and conversation. As it's getting into like just the wee hours of the morning, you're just very aware of your god's warmth, Israel's warmth, and your markings on your skin have like a subtle glow to them. And there is something about that, like there's a comfort, a nervousness. All of it, however, points to one thing for you, in that your brother's trial is beginning. You sit with that for a bit. It's like very much a mixture of, you know, that he is being seen through this trial by Sherelle. But you also had just finished writing him several letters of apology. And you remember just one sort of blessing that people have said to you when you went off on your trial, and that made the shifting sands remember your steps. And then they stop glowing, and you're able to get some sleep. And while everyone else is sleeping, Vale heads down to the study with Varek. It's a very, it's like large but like cozy at the same time. Like there's a lot of stuff in here. This house has been passed down through a lot of people, and it's one of those houses that though there's a lot of space, there's also a lot of stuff. So you come into the space and there is very beautifully carved wood furniture, some of it kind of mismatching in nature, as if this one was like 10 years old and the other was like 50 years old. And he kind of gestures for you to sit down on one of the chairs across from him. They're kind of like turned sideways facing the desk, but he's sitting on the other side with you, whereas he would probably normally be sitting across. And he, like almost out of nowhere, produces another bottle of wine that he sets on a table in between both of you. And he goes, well, I'll admit I do want to learn magic from you, in a way. Gonna need to understand this if we're going into a war with people who are proficient at this. However, I have noted that you have been causing trouble of someone who annoys me to no end. You're aware of a Mr. Sander?
I am.
Well then, I think I would like to discuss the future of arrangements between Erisholm and Ashendar, because he seems to be wanting to take over Ashendar, and I don't really like the guy, so...
He had grand ideas while the Virian family was away.
Well, let's ensure that those ideas stay ideas. And he's going to pour you a glass of wine, and I think we will pick up on this little study date next session, because it is 9:30.
Sounds good.